Hello and welcome to a 31 Days of Horror 2017 video, Toronto After Dark edition. We are talking about the first film from the Toronto After Dark Film Festival, the opening gala presentation. A sellout crowd as per usual. Whether the movie is good or not is always to be, well, matter of opinion. But usually with opening and closing galas, you are expecting the cream of the crop, the creme de la creme. And I'm not so sure that was the case this year, as I guess this would be film number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 for the 31 Days of Horror. With, I guess you'd call it a crime drama, My Friend Dahmer. Essentially this is Jeffrey Dahmer in high school. There's some comedic elements to it, but for the most part it is essentially just an awkward kid in high school drama who happens to turn out to be a serial killer later on in life. Not too much, because essentially the film ends pretty much, I guess, maybe like a week before his first kill. So yeah, it's directed by Mark Myers, no relation to Michael Myers. Bad joke. But yeah, it's a guy I've never heard of before, and as looking him up, I haven't been able to find anything that I recognized. So we'll just say he's essentially not somebody on your radar, and well, I can understand why. He's not a genre director at all, and he hasn't done a lot in general. But he wrote and directed this film. The film is based off of a book. I think the book's called My Friend Dahmer as well. I could be wrong. By Durf Back Durf. Yeah, you heard that right. The person who wrote the book is named Durf Back Durf. I'm guessing he's not English. Sounds like Scandinavian or something. But the film stars Ross Lynch as Jeffrey Dahmer. He's the main character, obviously. It's all about him. And he's kind of, I think he's like a Disney, comes out of the Disney channels, with what is it? Teen Beach, I think, was his claim to fame. He was in the Teen Beach movie and the sequel, and he's in the television show Austin and Ally, and I think he's the main character, Austin, in that. So these are things I have never seen before. They are not in my wheelhouse whatsoever, so I didn't know anything about him. I will say I did enjoy his performance as Dahmer. He does come across as a very awkward individual, which is essentially what they were trying to put across. I wouldn't say they were trying to make you feel for Jeffrey Dahmer. That doesn't quite happen, but you do kind of get a sense of, this was not a guy who was popular at school, and we all know how that can turn out. We'll just say the film also has a few other people in it, but the main one is Anne Hesh, who plays Jeffrey's mom, and she is she's spectacular. She is a somebody who you learn early on has just been released from a mental institution. She had an incident, we'll just call it that, that landed her into therapy, and she has now just been, I guess, released to home custody, if you will. And she's got some problems. And her performance as his mom is amazing. Actually, I'll say I don't think there was a bad performance out of anybody in this film. None of the teenagers, none of the adults. Everybody had a very different take on their characters, but none of them came across as being too much. They all came very real, which really helped the drama that is my Friend Dahmer. The big problem about My Friend Dahmer is it's a drama. It's a little boring. It literally is just essentially seeing this awkward kid in high school. There's no, I don't know. I mean, if you're really into serial killers and stuff like that, you probably would be fascinated. I don't know how much of it is real. I would have to think that they pulled from all the knowledge to create it, but it could be a complete work of fiction for all I know. I don't know enough about Jeffrey Dahmer to be able to say that it is completely fictional or not. But I wouldn't be surprised if a good portion of the film is encased in reality, and what we know of the individual. But yeah, it's definitely an interesting film. There are a lot of moments in it that are unexpected, interesting, but it's not something that you would want to be going into expecting something that's superbly entertaining. It's not thrill rides, it's not a thrill seeker type thing, right? It is an interesting story, and it's well told. In fact, I would say that the film is extremely well done. Really, really well done. It's just, it's not really my cup of tea because I'm not really into dramas. I don't particularly enjoy too many of them. They have to be like, upper scale dramas for me to want to rewatch those type of things. But it is, if you're definitely into that true crime type stuff, this is the kind of film that you probably want to check out, because obviously Jeffrey Dahmer is going to be on your list of people you like to read about, and watch documentaries, etc. So to see this, I don't know if it's a docudrama. It's not really. Like I said, I don't know how much of it's fictional and how much of it isn't. It could be something that would really pique your interest in that case. And like I said, it's really, really well done. But you should know that going in, just because it's about Jeffrey Dahmer, don't expect a bunch of killings, don't expect a bunch of whodunits or anything like that. There's none of that going on. It literally is just an awkward kid at high school. And yeah, it's, I guess, his slow progression towards deciding that he's going to finally, kill somebody. And you see it, the progression along through the movie. Would I recommend it? If you're into horror films and you're expecting something along those lines, no, don't go into it expecting anything like that. If you are into dramas, there is a little bit there for you, but like I said, it is about a serial killer, so don't expect a loving type drama or anything along those sorts. It's not a romance of any sort. It's not a happy film. There is no happy ending in this. It is a very quirky and somewhat, I wouldn't call it depressing, but it's not unnerving. I don't know what the word is that I'm looking for, but it is, because of the subject matter, it isn't something that you would go into expecting to come out of it feeling, like good feelings. But for those lovers of true crime, it is definitely for you. It is quality product, and it is definitely something that you should check out. If I was to give it a rating out of 5, I might go to a 4. I'd say it's probably around a 3.5, because I'm going to take off a half point simply because I wasn't entertained as much as I would have liked, but at the same time it wasn't really geared towards my preferences and my likes and dislikes type thing. It had a specific mission, and I think it accomplished it extremely well. It just wasn't my cup of tea, as they say. So I'd say it's a 4 in terms of quality, and if you're into true crime, you'll probably really enjoy it. But I'll give it a 3.5. I'm going to knock it off a half point due to my personal entertainment value feelings score, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, so first film at the Toronto After Dark Film Festival, which means there's more to come, so let's check those out now. So why don't you check out the next video? Should be coming soon if it hasn't come up already. It may already be here. It depends on when you're watching this video. There is a playlist for all of the 31 Days of Horror for 2017, as well as the Toronto After Dark Film Festival separate for 2017. So you can click on those. They should be somewhere. If they aren't showing up on the sidebar in terms of the related videos, you can always go to my channel and find them under my playlist. So yeah, let me know if you've seen My Friend Dahmer, what you thought of it down below. Keep it spoiler free, even though, like I said, if this is true, then there really are no spoilers, because it is in the past and you can look all that kind of stuff up anyway. So thanks for watching. Till next video, take care. Have a good